Hi friends, it's Sunday, June 22nd, 2014. Lynn McGonagill here. Jamie and our videographer Rick and I are continuing some work that we began yesterday in our meditation retreat. Some of the cycles, the later cycles, were devoted to extending our pillars of light through other dimensions on behalf of the biosphere and on behalf of the galaxy, in the case of this body mind, to offer ourselves as vessels multidimensionally to heal the greater good of the things that are holding us back from awakening. So today we are continuing that assignment because we got as far as we could yesterday and didn't complete it. Now we'll pick it up where we left off and move forward. Trapdoor into the dark green dimension. And this one looks even worse than the one above it. So much for my story that this would be better. That's a falseness. This is even worse. And so let's just start pumping the gook up and out through us. It just like it leaked like a sieve is what it looks like. Pulsing the gook up and out, right through our own spines and through that black dimension, the tunnel that we built yesterday, and through our regular pillar, through that tunnel, right on up to source. Whoa, hand over hand, bulb syringe, pulsing the pillar, using all the tricks, toothpaste tube tricks, all the tricks of getting this going. Bringing that fire hose of truth and getting it into position. Peppermint fresh blast, that feels great. Wow, that was what was needed. Wow, that helps a lot. Okay, now let's ask to be shown with the light way down there how far we have to go, right? Safety harnesses clipped off, ready to go?
Ready.
Clip on me, here we go. Just stay with me, clip onto me. Here we go, just straight for that light. Sinking right down to it. Boom, it's like we have enough weight on our weight belt. That's a gift. That's grace, clearly. We didn't have to struggle with that. It's just like boom, bouncing on the bottom. Got there in a flash. So now we just start working, pulsing this seabed into our vortex, thickening, deepening this vortex just like from before, so that we can ventilate this space, get some light shining through here, get this vortex going so some living waters can flow down into this space. Right, good point. So they're pointing out how underwater construction is different than construction on land, right?
Right.
And they just mean work in different dimensions is different. It's true. I know this from my training in multidimensional travel with Adonai. Multidimensional work is that the rules are always different, and what works in one dimension doesn't work in another. You can't just pop through the doorway, use the old rules, and expect them to work. It doesn't. Each dimension has its own rules. So the way we did it would have been perfect in this dimension.
Right.
Or not perfect, but would have met standards in this dimension. And it didn't hold it at all in that dimension. So we're going to have to ask light beings who know what to do in this dimension to do it, and we can watch and learn. Like a clock-in machine. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm clearly supposed to clock in. It proves that we were here. It's like getting our cards punched, We were here. So we just get our cards punched. We were here. Now here at this deepest dark green floor bed, it's like it tells where we were. We clock in here. Wow. This is a proud punch to have on our card. Like this is a mark of honor to have this on this card. It looks good, that punch. Now we can start to go up, but let's take a load with us. Like while we're going up, let's drag big screens with us, right? So the screens that kind of lock into the silo, let's look for this is the right size marking. And then get the screens that fit that marking, and then I can see how it's going to be a tight fit. The tunnel kind of collapses and gets smaller, but running the screens that are the right size will help the pillar be the right size still. Let's just put it the right size all up and down, and put in some stays or supports to hold it the right size. It keeps collapsing, kind of like maybe from the weight of the water outside of it. Does that make sense? Spinning balls. There's spinning balls of light, just spinning in all kinds of different directions. They say just use and they use a word that means these spinning balls of light. That are, they remind me of cherubim, you know? Okay, so we'll ask the cherubim if they're willing to work in here. That makes sense. We'll hold strong space to the best of our abilities and offer this space to the cherubim if any are willing. Ask if any are willing to come help clear out this other dimension. Wow! You can use this as vessels to reach this other dimension. That's it. We offer this tube for them to move through to reach the parts that are pressing in on us. Does that make sense? You can use us, fly through us to reach this other dimension. Oh, they like that. That's how it is with these other dimensions. At first it's really hard to accomplish things because the rules are different. We don't have the right tools, but after a while we can do it. We just learn. It's like moving to another country and learning the language.
Right.
Know? Yeah. And the poisonous snakes and the edible plants. Right. Just have to learn it. That's all. To offer this whole pillar, which now has 4 sections. The normal section we've been working with, always feeling like we're expanding it or working to expand it. The section above it that you've been working in this past several minutes, and the 2 sections below it, the black dimension and the green dimension. So we're offering the oneness to the guides and angels. It's a much longer portal, right?
Right.
Much longer portal. Offering it to the guides and angels. We understand it's in bad shape. That we do. We totally get that. But if you're willing to use it, we're holding space to the best of our stinky abilities right now. You're fixing this really rotten, terrible construction job we did. Right. It's like, okay, that was pathetic. Let us do it. Well, let us improve upon what you've done. Like they can take what we've done and bring it up to some level of competence. Like they can match our efforts. They can only match our efforts. I think I'm going to swim through with another screen because I can do that, and it takes a lot of effort to swim through this gunk with these screens. So that, and it works. Like there's a bunch of stuff to be cleared. I can do that. I can go down and punch my card again, and then swim up with a screen that is locked into the runners. This is the right size. I can do that.
Yeah.
The thing about moving up higher is that it's compelling to stop too soon, you know? It's continually feeling like this is time to stop, but it isn't. There, I see the clock to punch into the time. It's not a time clock. It's like a space-time clock. Good point. Shows where we are in space and time. Space-time clock. I love that. Punching into the space-time clock. Portals into the future, drawing in the perfect vibrations from the future, drawing them into the foundations right here in these other dimensions, right here down by this clip. And anchoring it into the past. Wow, that opens up a huge amount of shifting. Holy moly. Letting the vibrations from the future come in, pulling them through the present moment, anchoring them in the very distant past, from the distant future into the distant past, through the present moment, right through space-time. We're weaving space-time. We're working with the strands of space-time, clocking in with the space-time clock and weaving the strands of space-time. There we go, into creating something stable. so much for the story that was running in this head that we needed to be in Central D.C. to have a powerful session. Looks like that was incorrect. The question isn't, are we right or wrong? The question is, are we still wrong or wrong again? Wrong again. Thank you. That's a beautiful thing to say. That's quite the compliment. They just said I was wrong again. That's a beautiful thing to say. That means there was a moment when I wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
However fleeting.